Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going deep on the Santa Clara County real estate market. And, well, frankly, it's been seeing some wild price action. We're talking median home price at a cool $1.925 million. Average price even higher, $2.34 million. And that's up, get this, 11.9% and 15.7% year over year. So we all know supply and demand's got a part in this, but how much of this is really the tech industry driving things? And what does it even mean for anyone looking to buy with inventory this low?
It's interesting because while no one can deny how much tech is affecting things, there's something else going on underneath.
Yeah.
Sure, high salaries at places like Google and Apple help people compete there.
Huh.
And relocation packages, I mean, those definitely throw some gas on the fire. But you got to think about zoning laws, too. Santa Clara County's got some strict ones that make it hard to build anything new. So it all adds up. You've got tons of demand from tech, not much land to build on anyway, and people who already own homes.
Yeah,
They don't want to sell.
So zoning's kind of like a bottleneck then. Not just about land being there, but if you can even build on it. That makes sense. But for folks who actually want to buy in Santa Clara County, I mean, record low inventory, what does that even look like? We're talking homes selling in like 22 days on average.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough market, especially if you're a first-time buyer. You probably don't have the same cash as someone working at one of these big tech companies. And even if you do have the money, you're still going up against a lot of other people. Bidding wars happen all the time, which just drives those prices up even more.
So if you are trying to buy in this market, how do you stand out? What can you do to actually, have a chance? I'm guessing getting pre-approved for a mortgage is step one, but what else?
Oh yeah, pre-approval is huge. It shows sellers you're serious and ready to go. But beyond that, you got to be smart about it. A really good real estate agent who knows Santa Clara County like the back of their hand. That could be the difference maker. They know the market inside and out, know how to make your offer look good, and they can help you with those bidding wars.
It's not just any agent then. Got to find someone who's a real pro in this specific area. Makes sense. All right, let's flip things around. What about the sellers? They must be loving this market with all this demand and basically no competition.
Oh, it is a seller's market for sure.
Yeah.
Multiple offers way over asking price. That's normal here. But even so, sellers can't just assume everything will work out perfectly. Even in a hot market like this, you got to price it right. If you go too high, even a little bit, buyers will walk away.
So you can't just ride the wave, got to be smart about it. So if you are selling in Santa Clara County, what's the one tip you'd give them to make sure everything goes well?
Find a good agent, someone with experience. They can tell you what the market's really like and help you with pricing, getting the house ready, all of it. Because even in a seller's market, if your home looks great and the price is right, you'll get the best buyers coming to you.
Great advice. Now, what about investors? How are they approaching this market? I mean, higher prices mean bigger potential profits, but getting in is also a lot more expensive.
One thing we're seeing, investors are starting to move away from the typical single-family home. They're looking at multifamily properties that can generate rental income, or even buying land in areas that are growing really fast and developing it themselves. And we're seeing more investors get into what's called fractional ownership. Things like REITs or those crowdfunding platforms. That way they can invest without having to put down millions of dollars up front.
So they're diversifying their investments and finding new ways to get in on the action. With prices going up and up like this, what's the future of Santa Clara County real estate?
Well, most people think prices will keep going up. Maybe not as fast, though. But there are some things that could change everything.
Like what? Interest rates? Maybe something happening with the tech industry?
Exactly. Those are the big unknowns. If interest rates jump up a lot, fewer people can afford to buy and demand cools down. Same thing if something big happens in tech. Like if companies start hiring less or move their headquarters somewhere else, that could have a ripple effect on the whole market.
So even though everyone's predicting more growth, there are some things that could throw a wrench in the gears. I guess that's what makes this market so interesting and a little unpredictable.
Definitely. There's always something new to learn and analyze. It's a market that keeps you on your toes.
Okay, so we've got a good picture of this market now, but let's get specific. For anyone ready to jump into Santa Clara County real estate, what are some steps they can take right now, whether they're buying, selling, or investing?
All right, well, for buyers, in a market this competitive, the key is to be prepared before you even start looking at houses. Get pre-approved for a mortgage. That way you'll know exactly how much you can spend, and you'll show sellers that you're serious about buying.
I know getting pre-approved can be a little intimidating, especially if you've never bought a house before. Any advice on making that process easier?
Yeah, definitely shop around. Compare rates from different lenders, and don't be afraid to ask questions. A mortgage is a big commitment. You want to make sure you understand everything. You might even want to work with a mortgage broker. They can help you figure out all the different loan options and find the best one for you.
So it's like having a personal shopper for your mortgage. Okay, you're pre-approved. Now you need to find the perfect house. But how do you even start searching in a market where everything moves so fast?
That's where having a good real estate agent comes in. Someone who really specializes in Santa Clara County. They'll know about all the newest listings, they understand how the market's moving, and they can help you find properties that actually meet your needs.
So finding the right agent is crucial. All right, what about making an offer? With all these bidding wars going on, how do you make your offer stand out and be competitive?
You got to be ready to move quickly. In this market, houses often sell within days, so you can't wait around. Your agent can help you put together a strong offer. Maybe offer a bigger earnest money deposit or be flexible with the closing date.
So it's not just about the price, it's about showing the seller that you're serious and you're going to follow through. Makes sense. Okay, now let's talk about the sellers. It's definitely a good time to be selling in this market. But how do you make sure you get the most out of your investment?
It's all about presentation. Make sure your house looks its absolute best. You might even want to think about staging it. Arrange the furniture and decorations to really show off the house's best features. And professional photos and videos are a must. That's how you grab buyers' attention online.
Yeah, those visuals are so important, especially when buyers are making decisions so quickly. You got to catch their eye right away. But even with perfect staging and amazing photos, pricing is still key, right?
Absolutely. It might be tempting to set a really high price in this market, but buyers are smart. They'll know if you're asking too much. Work with your agent to figure out a realistic price. Look at what similar houses in your area have sold for them.
So even in a seller's market, you got to be strategic about pricing. Okay, let's talk about the investors now. What advice do you have for people who are looking to get into the Santa Clara County real estate game?
The most important thing is to diversify. Don't put all your money into just one type of property. Look at different options, maybe multifamily units that you can rent out for income, or even commercial real estate. You might also want to consider neighborhoods that are up and coming, areas with a lot of growth potential.
So thinking outside the box, looking for those hidden gems. But getting into this market is expensive. How are investors handling those upfront costs?
Well, some are finding creative ways to finance their investments, maybe partnering with other people or getting private loans. Others are using technology to their advantage, investing through crowdfunding platforms or REITs. That way, they can own a piece of a property without having to pay the full price themselves.
So there are ways to get involved even if you don't have millions of dollars sitting around. That's good to know. Now let's talk about something that can be a real pain in real estate. Property taxes. How do those work in Santa Clara County?
Property taxes in California are based on how much your property is worth. The county assessor figures that out. And it's important to remember that property taxes can change. They go up and down as property values change.
So it's not a fixed amount that stays the same forever?
Nope. Property taxes can increase or decrease depending on what the market's doing. Make sure you factor that into your budget when you're buying or investing.
That's a really important point, especially with how much prices are fluctuating in this market. Okay, let's move on to another crucial topic, home inspections. Why are those so important when you're buying or selling a house?
A home inspection gives you a detailed report on the condition of the property. It'll point out any potential problems. For buyers, it's peace of mind. They know exactly what they're getting into. And for sellers, it's a chance to fix any issues before they become a problem during escrow.
So it's like getting a checkup for the house. Speaking of improving your home, what are some smart renovations that can actually increase the value of a property and make it more appealing to buyers?
The best renovations are the ones that give you a good return on your investment. Kitchen and bathroom remodels are always popular, as are energy-efficient upgrades like new windows and insulation. And don't forget about curb appeal. How your house looks from the outside can make a big difference. Landscaping and exterior updates can really boost your home's value.
So it's all about making strategic improvements that will pay off in the long run. Now let's talk about something that people don't always think about, homeowner associations or HOAs. What should people know before they buy into a community with an HOA?
HOAs can be great. They often provide things like shared amenities and take care of maintenance, but it's super important to understand the rules and regulations before you buy. HOA fees can be all over the place, and some HOAs have really strict rules.
So do your homework, read those HOA documents carefully, and maybe even attend some HOA meetings to see how things work. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about relocation. What are some key things to consider when you're moving to a new city or state? especially when it comes to real estate.
The first step is research. Really dig in and explore different neighborhoods. Think about your lifestyle and your budget. And definitely connect with a local real estate agent. They can give you the inside scoop on the market.
It's like starting your home search all over again. All right, let's talk about sustainability, which is becoming more and more important these days. How can homeowners and investors make their properties more eco-friendly?
There are a lot of ways to reduce your impact on the environment. Start with simple things like switching to LED light bulbs and installing low-flow shower heads and faucets. For bigger investments, you can look into solar panels or energy-efficient appliances.
So it's about making conscious choices that are good for the planet and can save you money on your utility bills. Now let's talk about home warranties. How can those protect homeowners from unexpected expenses?
A home warranty covers the cost of repairing or replacing major systems and appliances in your home. Things like your furnace, air conditioner, water heater, and major appliances. It gives you peace of mind knowing that you won't be hit with a huge bill if something breaks down.
It's like insurance for your home's essential systems. Okay, let's discuss closing costs. Those expenses that everyone dreads. What should people expect when it comes to closing costs?
Closing costs are basically all the fees that come with finalizing a real estate transaction. Things like loan origination fees, title insurance, and appraisal fees. Get an estimate of these costs early on in the process so you can budget accordingly.
So transparency is key. Now let's talk about property maintenance. What are some essential tasks that homeowners should prioritize to keep their homes in good condition?
Regular maintenance is crucial. Create a checklist and schedule regular inspections for your roof, HVAC system, plumbing, and electrical systems. And don't wait to fix small problems. Addressing them promptly can prevent them from turning into bigger, more expensive issues down the road.
Being proactive can save you a lot of headaches and money in the long run. Okay, let's talk about smart home technology. What are some popular features that can make a property more appealing to buyers?
Smart thermostats, lighting systems, and security cameras are all really popular upgrades these days. They offer convenience, energy efficiency, and peace of mind. These features can be a major selling point for tech-savvy buyers.
It's all about making your home more connected and efficient. Now, for families with kids, schools are a top priority. How can parents research schools and find the best educational options for their children?
There are some great online resources, like greatschools.org. You can compare school ratings, test scores, and parent reviews. But don't just rely on online information. Visit the schools in person and talk to other parents in the community.
It's about finding the right fit for your child's individual needs. Speaking of individual needs, let's talk about accessibility. What features make a home more accessible for people with disabilities?
There are a lot of modifications that can make a home more accessible and comfortable for everyone. Things like wide doorways, ramps instead of stairs, lever-style door handles, and roll-in showers.
It's about removing barriers and creating a more inclusive living space. Okay, let's discuss homeowners insurance. What should people be aware of when they're choosing a policy?
It's important to understand the different types of coverage available. Choose a policy that provides enough protection for your home and your belongings, and make sure it's tailored to your specific needs and the risks in your area.
So it's about finding the right coverage for your unique situation. Now let's dive into a topic that can be a little mysterious. Property titles. What are they and why are they so important?
A property title is a legal document that proves who owns a property. It shows the history of ownership and any claims or liens against the property. Having a clear title is absolutely essential for a smooth real estate transaction.
So it's all about making sure the seller actually has the right to sell the property and that the buyer's ownership will be clear and protected. Okay, back to energy efficiency for a minute. What are some other ways homeowners and investors can make their properties more sustainable and save money on their utility bills at the same time?
One option is to invest in a tankless water heater. They provide hot water on demand, which is more energy efficient than traditional tank-style heaters. Upgrading your insulation can also make a big difference. It helps keep your home warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer, which means you'll spend less on heating and cooling.
So it's about making investments that will pay off in the long run. Now let's talk about renovations again. What are some key things to keep in mind when you're planning a renovation project?
The most important thing is to set a realistic budget, and then stick to it. Get bids from multiple contractors and check their references. Make sure you get all the necessary permits, and communicate clearly with everyone involved throughout the project.
Planning and communication are crucial for a successful renovation. Now let's talk about neighborhood amenities. What are some desirable features that can make a property more appealing to buyers?
Things like parks, walking trails, good schools, and easy access to shopping and dining. Those all contribute to a desirable neighborhood, and they can have a big impact on property values.
It's all about location and lifestyle. Speaking of safety, what are some effective ways to enhance home security?
Install a good security system, one that includes alarms, sensors, and cameras. Make sure your doors and windows have strong locks. And consider adding outdoor lighting and maybe even joining a neighborhood watch program.
It's about being proactive and creating a safe environment for your family and your belongings. Now, what if a homeowner thinks their property tax assessment is too high? Can they appeal it?
Absolutely. You can contact your local assessor's office to get the forms you need, gather evidence to support your appeal, things like comparable sales data for similar properties in your area, and then present your case at a hearing. Clearly explain why you think the assessment is wrong.
So homeowners have the right to challenge an unfair assessment. Knowledge is power. Okay, let's talk about aging in place. What home modifications can make a property more suitable for seniors or people with mobility challenges?
Simple things like installing grab bars in the bathroom,
Yeah.
widening doorways, and adding ramps to get up and down stairs. Those can make a big difference in terms of accessibility and safety. And they allow people to stay in their homes comfortably as they get older.
It's about creating a supportive environment that promotes independence. Now let's move on to landscaping. What are some tips for improving curb appeal and potentially increasing a property's value?
Keep your lawn mowed and edged, add some colorful plants and flowers, and create a welcoming entryway. You might even want to add some outdoor living spaces like a patio or deck. That extends your living area and makes your home more appealing to buyers.
So it's about creating an inviting outdoor space that complements the house. Speaking of natural elements, let's talk about water conservation. What steps can homeowners take to reduce their water usage?
Install low-flow fixtures in your bathrooms and kitchen. Water your lawn efficiently. Maybe even collect rainwater to use in your garden. And fix any leaks right away. Don't let water go to waste.
It's about being mindful of our water consumption and making small changes that can add up to a big difference. Okay, let's shift gears to community involvement. How can homeowners get involved and contribute to their communities?
There are so many ways to get involved. Attend community events, volunteer at local organizations, join neighborhood groups, and support local businesses. It's all about connecting with your neighbors and working together to make your community a better place.
It's about building relationships and creating a sense of belonging. Now let's talk about disaster preparedness. What steps can homeowners take to protect their properties from potential damage?
Have a disaster preparedness plan. Know your evacuation routes and have a supply kit ready to go. Secure your property, trim trees that could fall on your house, reinforce your roof, and secure any outdoor furniture that could blow around in strong winds. Being prepared can make a huge difference if a disaster strikes.
Absolutely. It's all about planning ahead and mitigating risks. Now let's talk about selling your home. What are some tips for getting your house ready to sell and attracting potential buyers?
Declutter. Get rid of anything you don't need and depersonalize your space. You want buyers to be able to picture themselves living there, make any necessary repairs, and stage your home to highlight its best features. Use professional photography to showcase your home online. A well-presented home is more likely to attract buyers and get a higher price.
Presentation is key in a competitive market. Now, how is technology changing the real estate industry?
Online platforms, mobile apps, social media, they're all changing the way we buy, sell, and interact with real estate. Technology makes the process more convenient, it gives us more transparency, and we have access to more information than ever before.
It's about embracing the tools that make the real estate process more efficient and informed. Okay, let's talk about home equity. What is it, and how can homeowners tap into it if they need to?
Home equity is the difference between what your home is worth and what you still owe on your mortgage. As you pay down your mortgage and property values go up, your equity grows. You can access that equity through home equity loans or lines of credit.
So it's like accessing the value you've built in your home. Now let's talk about financial literacy. What are some key concepts that homeowners and investors should understand?
It's important to understand things like mortgages, interest rates, amortization, property taxes, and investment strategies. If you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to seek professional financial advice. It's all about creating a solid financial plan and making informed decisions.
Financial literacy is crucial for success in real estate. Okay, let's wrap up with some tips for making a move as smooth and stress-free as possible.
Planning is key. Start decluttering early. Hire a reputable moving company. Label all your boxes clearly, and notify utility companies and change your address in advance. Attention to detail and organization will make your move much easier.
It's all about being prepared and taking steps to simplify the process. Okay, let's talk about community building. How can homeowners foster a sense of community and create a more welcoming neighborhood?
Organize events like block parties or potlucks. Start a community garden. Support local businesses. Get to know your neighbors. And participate in civic activities. Creating a sense of community strengthens bonds and improves the quality of life for everyone.
It's about creating those connections that make a neighborhood feel like home. Now let's talk about home safety. What steps can homeowners take to prevent accidents and injuries in their homes?
Make sure you have working smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors on every level of your home. Secure stairs and balconies with railings. Keep walkways clear of clutter. Store hazardous materials safely. And practice fire drills with your family. These simple measures can make a big difference in keeping your home safe.
It's about creating a secure and healthy environment for your family. Now let's talk about environmental responsibility. What are some sustainable practices that homeowners can adopt?
Reduce your carbon footprint. Conserve water. Choose eco-friendly materials whenever possible. Recycle, compost, and support sustainable businesses. Every little bit helps.
It's about making conscious choices that benefit our planet and our communities. Now let's shift gears to financial planning. What are some tips for managing your finances and achieving your financial goals?
Create a budget and track your spending. Set financial goals, both short-term and long-term. Save regularly, even if it's just a small amount. Invest wisely, and don't be afraid to seek professional advice when you need it.
Taking control of your finances empowers you to make informed decisions and achieve your dreams. It's all about setting yourself up for financial success. Okay, let's talk about community engagement. How can homeowners actively participate in their communities and make a difference?
Attend community meetings. Volunteer your time. Join neighborhood groups. Support local initiatives, and advocate for issues that matter to you. Being an active and informed citizen is crucial for a healthy community.
It's about being a part of the solution. Now let's talk about home improvements again. What are some smart upgrades that can add value to a property?
Focus on renovations that offer a good return on investment. Things like updating your kitchen and bathrooms, making energy efficiency improvements, and boosting your curb appeal.
Strategic home improvements can make a big difference in attracting buyers and getting the best price for your property. Now let's wrap up with sustainability again. What are some key sustainable practices for homeowners and investors?
Reduce your environmental impact. Conserve water. Choose eco-friendly building materials. And support sustainable businesses and initiatives. Embracing sustainability is good for our planet, our communities, and our future.
It's about making choices that create a healthier and more sustainable world. Okay, now let's talk about relocation. What are some important factors to consider when you're moving to a new city or state, especially when it comes to real estate?
Do your research. Explore different neighborhoods. Consider your lifestyle and your budget. And connect with a local real estate agent who can guide you through the process. It really is. Like you're starting from scratch. Get to go to everything: cost of living, jobs, schools, what it's like to live there. And yeah, of course, the whole real estate situation.
Makes you wonder if we need a whole nother deep dive just on moving. But okay, for now, back to Santa Clara County. We've covered a lot today. Crazy high prices, how much tech is affecting everything, the ups and downs of buying or selling here.
Yeah, it's definitely complicated, this market. Always changing, too. But that's why it's so important for people to really understand it, Whether you're buying, selling, investing, whatever. Knowing what's going on helps you make the best choices.
So true. So for everyone listening, whether they're real estate pros or just starting to think about all this, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
To stay informed, I guess. Knowledge is power, especially when things change so fast, like in this market. Keep up with what's happening with prices, interest rates, how much inventory there is, anything that can affect the market.
Great advice. Do your research, ask questions. And if it all seems overwhelming, well, that's what real estate agents are for, right?
Exactly. A good agent can make all the difference. They're the experts. They can help you every step of the way.
So whether you're hoping to own a piece of Silicon Valley someday, or just interested in how this whole thing works, I hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of Santa Clara County real estate.
And maybe given you some ideas about how to approach it.
Here's something to think about, though. With all these things pushing prices up in Santa Clara County, do you think this market can keep going like this forever? Or are we going to see a correction at some point? What do you think?
That's the million-dollar question. It's complicated. No easy answers. But just thinking about it, that's the first step. to making smart decisions about your own real estate future.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another interesting topic. Until then, happy exploring.
It is, yeah. Big decision, moving somewhere new.
Yeah.
We really got to find the right spot.
Right. Makes you wonder if we need a whole nother deep dive just on that. But for now, back to Santa Clara County. We've talked about a lot, haven't we? Those sky-high prices, how tech's changing the game, what it's actually like to buy or sell here.
Definitely a lot to unpack. It's a complicated market, always something new happening. But that's why it's so important to understand it all, you know?
For sure. So for our listeners, no matter how much they know about real estate, what's the one thing you hope they take away from this?
I guess just to stay on top of things. You know, knowledge is power, especially in a market that's moving this fast. Keep an eye on prices, what's happening with interest rates, how much inventory there is. All that stuff can really make a difference.
Absolutely. Do your research, ask questions. And if it starts to feel like too much, that's what real estate agents are for.
Right. A good agent can be your best friend in this market.
Couldn't agree more. So whether you're dreaming of owning a piece of Silicon Valley someday, or just curious about how this crazy market works, we hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of Santa Clara County real estate.
And maybe spark some ideas about how to approach it, yeah.
Yeah, here's something to think about. With everything we talked about today, all these things driving prices up, do you think this market can actually keep going like this? Or is a correction coming? What do you think?
Tough one. It's a complicated question, no easy answers. But asking it, thinking about it, that's how you start making smart choices, right?
Exactly. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more fascinating topics to explore. Until then, happy exploring.